Toscano, 78 French Street, lifelong resident in the neighborhood. One thing that I think I heard everybody speak about in the past, but not tonight, but cleaner streets. Here in the neighborhood, I coming out and I see the streets seem to be a little dirtier, you know, so maybe you talk a little bit about any plans for cleaner streets around our neighborhood.
Sure. I wondered if that was going to come up tonight because the last time I was here, that was the first question I was asked, actually. You know, the North End is a unique area of the city of Boston. And to me, it's a historic area. I think we all know that the city reaps an incredible financial benefit from having the North End here. It attracts tourists from around the world. And frankly, I think that some of that revenue needs to be invested back in the community in a variety of different ways. And one of the things I like to see is I think we need to bring back the Hokies. The individual who has a broom, that has the garbage pail with them. We do have the street sweepers that come through. Unfortunately, they're small areas between cars. There are areas it's just not going to be able to reach. And if we want to ensure that it's picked up, then we need to, it's an old idea, but if that's what works, then I think that's what we need to do. In addition, September 1st just passed, and there's no catchy name here in the North End. There's Alston Christmas, but there's no catchy name here, but there's a huge turnover in apartments in September 1st. And one of the things that the city needs to do is to make sure that we have planning and additional coverage here in the North End area in the days both before and after September 1st to ensure that the larger scale of trash that's going to be coming out gets out of here. Personally, I'd like to see that happen in a partnership with Greenovate, which is the kind of the environmental arm of the city of Boston.
30 seconds.
Thank you. So as many items as possible that are reusable could certainly be picked up and then either recycled or donated to families who might have recently experienced a loss of homelessness through fire or something else throughout that's at no fault of their own. But realistically, the city's going to get cleaner when we have the Hokies come through, simply because there's some ways that people can't access. I know the next thing you're going to ask me is how are we going to pay for that? And one of my proposals in
That would be 2 minutes.
Never mind. I have a way to pay for it. You can ask me later.
So, one thing I don't think that is done enough, that used to be done, is I don't think we have landlords who take pride in their property anymore and step out and sweep their street. Many moons ago, that happened quite often, as you know. But I think we need to take advantage of technology. I know the day after St. Anthony's Feast, they walked up Front Street with blowers and had the Pelican or the street sweeper in the street. And it wasn't a street cleaning day. It wasn't a day where we had to move our cars, so they couldn't get to the curb. So they blew the debris out from the curbs, and they kind of had the Pelican. So they need to get creative. We also need, I'm finding personally, my neighbors, whoever owns my building don't even know who it is. Airbnb is becoming a real problem with putting trash out on the street, and it's starting to really get on my nerves. I think we need to find a way to regulate that. We also need to maybe find a way to start composting waste and separating our trash a little better. And we also need to start, when people want to build buildings or expand on buildings, they can't just put 10 units in a building and not have a recycling room or trash room. That needs to be a requirement. You need to have a trash room and a recycling room. I think that'll help alleviate the situation a little. And lastly, it's beyond me why we don't have a robust Chamber of Commerce here, or a bid, such as the one on downtown Crossing. We have a thriving business district here. We have multi-millionaire landlords. And I think a way to supplement what the city services are is by going into maybe some kind of bid or some kind of Chamber of Commerce approach, where we have folks out there with Hokies, with blowers, who don't work for the city of Boston but supplement what we do, and that would be done through the Chamber of Commerce or through a bid.
It's an excellent question. I agree, a lot of what we're seeing in increased trash is due to the fact that there is such huge turnover in our neighborhoods. I do think that there's a couple ways in which we should approach cleaner streets. One is enforcement. I'm a landlord, I'm a homeowner, and if one of my tenants puts out his trash in a non-conforming trash bag, I get a fine. So I need to go and tell my tenants what to do. So I agree to a certain extent with what Steve just said. It's a matter of really enforcing and bringing landlords to the table. It shouldn't be that easy for you to just allow your tenants to just completely pollute the street and you have no responsibility and have no accountability. So I think we need to start to define and enforce our actual laws that are on the books and make sure that people are held accountable. I think there's also a good opportunity for some good neighbor policies with our institutions. You know, look, a lot of the folks who are turning over in our neighborhoods are students. And I think a lot of what they need to be told and a certain amount of orientation needs to prepare them. You're moving into a neighborhood. This is not the campus that you're on. You need to clean up, and the universities need to almost have that as a policy for their students to understand. When you move into someone's neighborhood, you need to clean up. You need to recycle, you need to take care of your own trash. Your parents don't live here. This isn't your home. I think also we need to really look at how we as a city are treating our streets and clean up as a culture. These streets weren't always this dirty. There were many times when these streets were taken care of, and there was a culture within the neighborhood to care about beyond just inside of the home, but on the outside as well.
30 seconds.
And I'd like to see us bring back not just the Boston Shine or Eastie Shine Day once or twice a year, but on a regular basis. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for community empowerment and for us to feel like we're real caretakers of our community to really create almost cleanup crews that go out on a regular basis and really make the North End a stronger community and a cleaner community, as well as East Boston and Charlestown.